Welcome everyone and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson, we'll be drawing Upgrade from Bend 10. So we start all the way up along the top of our page, along the center. We're going to draw a circle, starting from the very top, go all the way around toward the bottom, and then bend that back up toward the top. Now let's trace that circle along the inside. So starting back at the top, we're going to step down. We want to leave an even space, going all the way around, and then back up. Now we're going to move out to the side and draw the top of the head. So from the left side of that circle, step over, curve this up, round out the head, and then bring that back down. Now I'm going to merge this into the side of the arm. So let's start back on the left side. I'm going to come down and out, just gradually bend that out towards the side of the arm, and then curve that all the way back down towards the bottom finger. Let's go over towards the right side and do the same thing. We're going to come down, bend this out, round out the arm, and then pull that back down toward the same height. Now from the bottom, we're drawing that first finger. So just going to round this out, pull this up, and then curve that in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Round out the finger, going up, and then bend that in toward the same height. Now I want to draw the second finger. So I'm going to bend this down and in. Let's round out the finger, bend this up, and then in towards the top. Let's add that third finger, bend this down and in towards the bottom. Now I'm going to round out that finger, bend this up, go straight up. Now we're going to taper the arm so it gets narrower as you come up toward the top of the body. Let's do the same thing on the right. Round out the finger, go straight up, taper this up and in towards the same height. Now from the top of the arms, we're going to step down, curve the body, coming in and then down towards the hips on both sides. Now let's go back to the left side. We're going to round this out, go out towards the hand, and then bend that down towards the bottom of the foot. Let's do the same thing on the right, going out and then down towards the same height. Let's round out the bottom of the feet. On the left, goes down and then up. And I want to leave a gap in between the legs. In between the legs, we can go all the way up to right about here. Let's add a point. Now let's bend the left leg, going out and then down, and then do the same thing on the right. Let's go back to the outside finger along the bottom. We're going to curve this up and then in towards the center of the arm, and I'm going to layer the thumb on top. So I'm going to come down, in towards the outside point, and then curl that up. Let's bend this out, going out towards the side of the arm, and then bend that back up towards the top. Let's take this shape and flip it over on the right. Starting from the tip of the finger on the outside, we're going to bend this up, and then in towards the center of the arm. Let's draw that thumb. We're going to come down towards that point, curl that up. Now we want to bend this up, out, and then bend that back up towards the top. Let's add a seam across the side of the body. Starting from the top of the arm, bend this in, and then down towards the hips. Let's add a seam across the inside of the leg. Starting from the tip, very top, going out, and then down. Now we're going to go to the center of the body. Let's add a circle. Going all the way around, and then up. And then we're going to add a thin trim along the inside. Let's go to the center and leave a small gap, add 2 points. One on the left, one on the right. Now from these points, we're going to angle this up and out. Go back to the inside, come down, and then out. And then we'll fill these two sides in black. From the top of that circle, we're going to move up, add a point. Now let's curve this up and then down towards the side of the arm. We go up, and it's across, and then down. Let's add a stripe coming down the center. Just underneath that circle, start with a straight line. On the left, draw a straight line coming down towards the point. Draw another line on the right side. go to the side of the head, bend this down and in. We're going to come straight down, then angle this down and then in toward the side. Let's flatten off the end. Now I'm going to trace that same shape along the outside. Set a mark along the side, coming down and in. Flatten this off, and then go back out. Let's add one more point, coming up and in from the bottom. Flatten that off, and then come back down. Let's go to the side of the body, add 2 angled lines to create a stripe. And then along the top of the arm, on the outside, angle this down and then in. Now just up above the thumb, we're going to go up and then angle that down. And then just trace that underneath. Just line this up on the right side. Let's add 2 stripes along the inside of the legs. Now I want to add some thickness on the left side of that center finger and that inside finger. So starting from the bottom, taper this out and then up in behind. Do the same thing on the right. Now let's do the same thing on the right hand. And then we'll sign our art and add a splash of color. And that's pretty much it. That's our draw upgrade from Ben 10. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please be sure to subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. I want to thank you for joining me today. Stay creative and I'll see you in the next one.